Hi, I'm Tom Hinton. Thanks for taking a moment to look at this video. What you're about to see is a clip from a live presentation that I gave to a national association. In this particular example, the meeting planner wanted me to inject a sense of humor along with business excellence. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to working with you. The first father-daughter trip was when Megan was 4 years old, so this is a few years ago. And I was taking her to Atlanta, Georgia for a speech down there at Ritz-Carlton hotels. And we're coming down the jet ramp. And as we're walking down the jet ramp, the captain of this Delta airplane was coming off, and he's walking up the jet ramp towards us. And he's in his very shiny blue, crisp Delta Airlines uniform. And Megan, who's a little 4-year-old, she gets all excited and goes, "Daddy, Daddy, there's the pilot." Well, she had watched Sesame Street. She knew what pilots look like. And the pilot, instead of just walking right by her and paying no attention to her, he stops and he says, "Well, hi, honey, how are you?" And she says, "Fine." And she says, "I'm going on a trip with my daddy." And he says, "Where are you going?" And she goes, "I'm going to Atlanta with my daddy." And he says, "Oh, I have an airplane. Do you want me to fly you to Atlanta?" And she goes, "Yeah." She gets all excited. And then he says, "Let me ask you something, honey. Is your daddy a member of the Delta Frequent Flyers Club?" Now, she looks at me and I look at him like, where is he going with these questions, right? Well, I am. And by the way, who's the paying customer here? Moi, right? But he's talking to the customer of the future. So he says to little Megan, he says, "Megan, honey, if your daddy will give me his Delta Frequent Flyer number, how would you like to be a member of the Delta Lions Club?" And she goes, "Yeah." She gets all excited because every kid loves the lions and tigers and bears, right? So I take out my Delta Frequent Flyer number, write it down on a piece of paper. He puts it in his uniform coat pocket. Who do you think's the next person that's going to see that? Yeah, the dry cleaner. So I didn't pay any attention. I said, "Okay, great." He gave us a little tour of the cockpit. We get to Atlanta, have a great trip. We're back. 2 weeks later, ding dong, I open the door. It's the man in brown, UPS. He says, "Megan Hinton live here?" And I said, "Yes." He says, "Sign here." So I sign, and I bring in this big package, which is about the size of this flip chart. It's not very thick, but it's big, it's bulky. It's a box, and I'll explain why. I say, "Hey, Megan, you've got a gift from Delta Airlines." So she comes downstairs, we open it up, and inside's a t-shirt with the Delta Airline logo on it, and a coloring book with crayons, and all this paraphernalia. But the reason the box was so big is there was this great poster of the Delta Lions Club mascot. And it wasn't rolled up, it was flat, ready to be hung. And so we took that poster out of the box, and that day we hung it up in her bedroom wall. And she just loved it. But that poster hung on her bedroom wall for 12.5 years until Brad Pitt and Britney Spears replaced it.